Tonight, 7 News is looking into the cause of all those dead trees and bushes along the Front Range. You may have noticed them in your yard or neighborhood. Turns out that polar vortex we experienced last fall and the recent Mother's Day snowstorm are a disastrous combination and an expensive one. Eric stepped out of the studio and is now live outside to explain. Eric?
I don't know about you, Ann, but I have a lot of dead trees and struggling bushes in my yard. And we have a few out here, too. Take a look at the yellow tips on these bushes. This is the result of a flash freeze from that polar vortex we had last fall. Created a lot of problems up and down the Front Range. This bush is probably going to make it, but a lot of trees and shrubs in the metro area probably won't.
Usually picturesque. Strolling along DTC Boulevard this spring, you might think DTC stands for Dead Tree Central. We wanted to get to the ugly truth about these trees.
We really have to kind of pull down the branch and take a look here, right?
So we took our questions to tree expert Jane Rosen.
This is how DTC Boulevard looks. It looks like a lot of dead trees. What are your thoughts?
I think the Mother's Day storm we had killed that new growth on these green ash trees.
Rosen says that cold snap, along with last November's polar vortex freeze, created a double whammy.
The trees didn't have a time to adjust, harden off as we call it, and they didn't have time to take the energy that they get from the leaves and really put it down in their root zone and get ready for winter.
And that has led to damaged or dead trees and bushes from Colorado Springs to Fort Collins, some of the worst conditions in 25 years.
Thanks to the cold snap last fall and around Mother's Day, these boxwood bushes in my front yard will likely have to be ripped out. And even though this aspen is not looking the best right now, tree experts say it's best just to be patient, wait a little while before you decide to cut anything down.
And that's the part that gets frosted and dies back.
Landscaper Gabe Fielding is telling customers to be patient.
Chances are that they may recover. I would definitely give it a year or one growing season or two growing seasons before you took any kind of drastic action.
These trees might bounce back. As for the ones in your yard, only time will tell.
Trees in your yard, the experts suggest you avoid pruning them, water them, and fertilize sparingly. And Ann, a good rule of thumb, the experts say, is that if the trees or bushes in your yard look more than 50% dead, and they have been that way for more than a year, then they're probably a goner.
Oh, all right, good to know. Thank you, Eric.